How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am back for the final entry for this month of heroes that you thought you knew. And stay tuned at the end where I end my videos, which if you watch all the way through, you know that. If you don't, then anyways, watch to the very end to see what I'm going to start doing in the next month, the month of December. Overtime at job willing. Still shouldn't stop me from doing this though. So stay tuned at the very end to see what I'm going to be starting doing next month. Now for the very last video of this month, I've got 5 more names. Now 2 of these names are kind of cheating. If you are a regular and avid reader of DC, then you're going to know 2 of these characters on the list. If you're an occasional reader, these 2 might surprise you. There is another one on this that if you're familiar with Dynamite Entertainment, you'll know this character. And he has appeared in other publications. I think he's been in Image Comics, but under a different name. But we're going to go under his original name. And another name is kind of cheating. He's kind of the name, but he's kind of not the name. But again, this is my video and I feel like doing it. And one has the same name and completely shares no connection to who they really are. This name is totally removed. So in this video, we're going to be doing the 2 cheating names, which is Flash and the Green Lantern. I will be covering the original Golden Age versions of these, which I have actually covered these 2 heroes in the top 20 DC heroes of the Golden Age videos, if you're interested in that. I'm also going to be doing Daredevil, the original Golden Age Daredevil, who, if you read Image, has appeared under different names, and I will be doing a full-length video on him sometime in the future, but I will do a rough cover of him now. Someone named Doc Strange, which is also kind of a cheat because we have Doctor Strange, but he's Doc Strange, as in D-O-C Strange. But, again, it's my video. And for the last name on this list, Raven. And this Raven has totally no connection to the DC hero Raven. Now, I know I haven't covered a lot of DC heroes on this list, but since a lot of the most famous DC characters came out in the Golden Age, there was nobody who had the name first. That is why I'm actually using 2 DC characters for this. And like I said, if you're not an avid reader, you wouldn't know who these guys were. I didn't know who these guys were when I first started reading DC Comics 30 years ago. That's far and away removed from this goddamn old. Okay, so let's get into these 5 heroes and then stay tuned to the end. To beginning this video, we are going to start with Flash. Now, Flash first appeared in Flash Comics number 1 in 1940. Now, if you're an occasional DC reader, you might know Flash to be Barry Allen, Wally West, and I do believe Bart Allen, but I don't know how long Bart Allen actually was Flash. The original Flash is Jay Garrick, and he was created by Gander Fox and Harry Lampert. Now, before I believe this was before DC was even DC. It could have been National Comics back then. We had the original Flash. Now, if you watch the Flash TV show, you've had an introduction to Jay Garrick, but he's never been that main of a character. But he actually is the original speedster. I know that his past has been reworked in the comic books. I think at one time they said that he was given his speed by the god Mercury and he didn't have access to the Speed Force. But I don't even think the original Flash had a Speed Force to have the access to, so that was never really an issue to worry about. He's a speedster. I don't know how much his powers may have varied nowadays with all the introductions of Flash and rewriting history and Flash from the future. It's hard to say exactly what his powers are, but the original Flash, Jay Garrick, speedster. Let's talk about the original Jay Garrick, the way he got his original powers. It's the exact same way that Barry Allen got his powers in the comic books. He was a scientist working with hard water. Okay, this is nothing like the original Barry Allen. Well, a little bit. He was working with heavy water. He accidentally inhaled the vapors and found that he could run at super speed. Oh, good God. I know I've said that sometimes I love Golden Age Origins, but something like this is just ridiculous. And now, the Green Lantern. Take your pick. Who's your favorite? Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, John Stewart, Kyle Reiner. Oh, the amount of Green Lanterns is just insane. The original Green Lantern is actually Alan Scott. And this was before there was even a Green Lantern Corps. He was a particular character. Now, Alan Scott hasn't appeared in the comic books nowadays nearly as much as Jay Garrick has. So you might not know about Alan Scott being the first Green Lantern. Now, his story differs widely from any of the other Green Lanterns. His origin has been different than how the other Green Lanterns have got their rings. Now, I'm going to do a condensed version of this. From what I've been able to gather, a meteor fell to Earth back in the ancient days of China, or ancient China. The ancient days, that just sounds stupid. In ancient China, there was a green flame that fell from the meteor, and a voice was talking to a metal crafter, a voice from the flame, and told him to construct the metal into a lamp. When the lamp had changed hands a number of times and brought more into the modern era, it was made to look more like a lantern that you would be more familiar with the Green Lanterns, before it finally got to Alan Scott. A voice came to Alan Scott's brain and instructed him to fashion a ring from its metal. So he took some metal from the lamp and constructed a ring, which gave him fantastic powers as the superhero Green Lantern. And he adopted the most unusual costume. Yeah, this one right here. Now, I believe that this is the Golden Age origin. I almost forgot. Green Lantern, the very first Alan Scott, first appeared in All American Comics number 16. The creator of Alan Scott was Martin Nodell. And now, Daredevil. Daredevil first appeared in Silver Street Comics number 6 in 1940. His original identity is Bart Hill. He was originally created, writer and artist, by Jack Binder, and was later revamped by Jack Cole. Now, Daredevil is actually somebody I've been wanting to do for some time, but like early in my Golden Age videos, but I really didn't know how I wanted to cover him properly. This His first costume is ridiculous. Oh my god. Daredevil, he cannot speak from, well, even in Dynamite Entertainment, he couldn't speak. Now, I know that he has been in a number of different publications over the years. He was one of the prominent superheroes in Project Superpowers, which is definitely a video I want to do in the future because it covers so many Golden Age superheroes. I don't think that they all were given proper justice. I know that he's appeared in Image comic books along Savage Dragon, and I do believe that he was known as Red Devil at the time. He's definitely Red Devil in the AC comics, and for a while, he was known as Double Dare 2, which is just stupid. He doesn't have any special abilities. He's highly athletic, he has superior reflexes, he's a skilled acrobat, and a boxer, and martial arts. He's basically the public domain Batman. But he's also an expert boomerang marksman. He has been affiliated with the Little Wise Guys and the Sentinels of Justice. Now, originally as a child, Bart Hill was rendered mute after seeing his father murdered, and he was branded by an iron. As he grew up, he became a boomerang marksman. And in homage to the boomerang-shaped scar on his chest, like Batman, he took up being a costume vigilante at a young age. When he was revamped, the only thing that Cole kept from the original Daredevil was still Bart Hill. He still had the spiky belt, and he still had the boomerang. Now, I believe at this time he was no longer mute, and they didn't say why he was no longer mute. There was no explanation to it. And they also changed the bodysuit, which was good because this original was ridiculous, to the dark red and blue one that we see now. Now, I don't know much about Daredevil and his other appearances, his first appearance being Lev Gleason Publications, moving to AC Comics, Image Comics, and Dynamite. But from what I've been able to see in Dynamite Entertainment, he didn't speak. So maybe Dynamite went back to the original. But this is definitely a character I'm going to go into in a lot bigger detail in the future. Doc Strange. Originally named Doc Strange, ironically enough. First appeared in Thrilling Comics #1 in 1940. Now, I know he's been revived before, so we're just going to go with what the latest abilities are for him. Scientific genius, super strength, flight, vacuum survival, which means he could probably survive in deep space and space as a vacuum. Super speed and invulnerable to bullets. Now, Doc Strange first appeared in the Door comics back in 1940. And let's see. Doc Strange appeared in Thrilling Comics #1 to #64. And the Golden Age America's Best Comics 1 through 23 and in #27. He appeared in AC Comics in the Femforce, which Femforce, you've heard me mention Femforce before with these Golden Age heroes. They all seem to have found their way to AC Comics at one point. AC Comics was doing a lot with Golden Age heroes. Later, Doc Strange would be revived by Alan Moore, the original creators of Doc Strange being Richard Hughes and Alexander Kostuk, which I hope I didn't butcher the name. Like I said, he would be revived by Alan Moore, and Doc Strange would be called in the series Tom Strong. He would be called Tom Strange in the comic book titled the Tom Strong. And he would be part of the revival set of characters in the parallel world called Terra Obscura, which I do believe that I have mentioned before. Now, I have another character to talk about, Tom Strong, Doc Strange, Tom Strange, however you want to see it, however you want to call it, is definitely something I want to go over more in the future. But this is the original Doc Strange, who is also Tom Strange and Tom Strong, which doesn't clear things up for me at all. The Raven. Tom Gray first appeared in Feature Comics number 60 in 1942. He is published by Quality Comics and was created by Frank Broth. Forgive me if I butchered that name. The original Raven, who dresses like a raven, I guess, saw an advertisement in the newspaper that was calling for Spider Widow. When he saw that she was got into an ambush, because he went to the address, because of course you call for superheroes in a newspaper, why wouldn't you? It's the golden age after all. He rescued her from the ambush, and he, among other superheroes at that age, would fight Nazis. After Raven rescued Spider-Widow, they became a crime-fighting team. I guess it's because that's what you do. And they also teamed up with Phantom Lady, who would later be the inspiration for the Silk Spectre for Watchmen, which I have mentioned before in another video. Let's see. The Raven appeared in a number of issues of Featured Comics and a couple of issues of Police Comics. And in the Police Comics, Raven would be drawn by the Canadian comic book artist Jerry Lazare. Now, I do know that Quality Comics, well, a lot of the characters from Quality Comics would be acquired by DC, but I don't know if the Raven, I doubt that he has made any appearances in the DC Comics, since his last appearance seems to be Feature Comics number 72, I believe. If he ever did appear in the DC Comics, I mean, I know they own a large they own quite a lot of comic books characters that appeared in the Golden Age, like with Captain Marvel, but so far it hasn't been seen. Wow, that was an insanely long intro. I hope you made it this far. You might not have made it through the intro. No, please don't listen to me. Watch my videos. Oh yeah, Jurassic Park. I love this shirt. Anyways, I hope you're here at the end. I hope you liked the video, and that is what I wanted to discuss coming into the month of December. A new concept, which was kind of a request and kind of something that I was thinking about doing while I was doing my last month with the heroes that you thought you knew. I am going to do the month of December covering Golden Age superheroes from other countries. And no, I'm not referring to Marvel or Golden Age superheroes who come from that country. I'm actually talking about the Golden Age heroes that came from that country, as in comic books from Canada or UK, or I might even have a couple from Australia, I'm not sure. But we're going to be doing Golden Age superheroes that started in other countries that are not part of the main. When we get to it, you'll see what I mean. And what we're going to start the month of December with, and we'll try to do an entire month of one country, and if not, we will branch out. But as I said, we're going to start with, Canada.